What about, I mean, you must see the volatility under the trading desk, obviously. According to the Wall Street Journal, analysts are projecting that the biggest U.S. banks will see a solid bump in first quarter revenue. What do you look for in 2018 to drive the business?
Well, volatility is good for banks because clients are more active, looking for more solutions, and they are trading more as long as it is contained. What I see onward, I believe actually that this economy has gone through a full cycle. It's still expanding in the U.S., but the hotspot for investments in 18 and 19 is going to be Europe. Lately,
is that what you're saying? People are shifting money to Europe?
Yes. Well, lately you've seen European equities outperforming U.S. equities. And in my position between Main Street, Bank of the West, retail, between Wall Street or investment banking practice in New York and the international markets, I have seen significant outflows lately away from the U.S. market, away from the Asian markets, into Europe. And
you're seeing the backdrop also improve in Europe, right? I mean, for the first time in a long time, we're talking about 2.5% growth in the Eurozone.
Which is absolutely, and which is a consequence of the central bank there really applying in Europe. But the Fed has done here for many years until this economy now is back on, supporting the economy, supporting the businesses, and actually providing more stimulus and liquidity when needed. So
the Federal Reserve is expected to raise rates 4 times this year. Does that sound about right to you? I mean, there was some speculation that they were talking about 5 rate hikes as well, but it seems a little excessive. I don't know how you see it.
Well, I see it the same way you see it, Maria. It is very consistent. The Fed has been very consistent, and they will be hiking. I wish I had a crystal ball. 4 times, 5 times, don't know. However, what is for sure, this economy is doing better. Inflation trends are there. We're going to meet finally the 2% benchmark inflation, and I think it's reassuring for the markets because this is something that is expected.
What are you seeing from the retail investor or user today? Talk to us about the Bank of the West, BNP's regional company based out of California. In terms of the retail customer today, how are they doing? What's driving their business?
And well, thank you for mentioning the business in the U.S. of BNP Paribas. It's been really good last 5 years for the bank. We are diversified here, as you said. We have retail, we have wholesale. It's a $6 billion revenue platform, Maria. It's the largest balance sheet allocation of the group after France, meaning it's really strategic. And we have 16,000 people in the U.S., 12,000 of them being with Bank of the West. Then Bank of the West is covering 2.5 million customers. They have 650 branches across 30 states. And they have a broad scope of product offering from savings, lending, mortgages, SME lending, covering individuals, entrepreneurs, and businesses.
How has the regulatory changes impacted the Bank of the West? I mean, we talk about the regulatory environment loosening a lot this year, certainly. And do you want to see a regulation change when you look at regulations in the U.S. versus European regulators?
Well, convergence will always be a positive for any international banks between U.S. regulators and European regulators. For the practice in the United States of BNP Paribas, including Bank of the West, because we've been well capitalized, because we are liquid, because Bank of the West has been in existence for 160 years. And the businesses I just mentioned, there is one that has been actually thriving, which is the wealth management business that has been growing fast and serving high net worth individuals on the West Coast, now on the East Coast. I'm actually delighted to be with you here today to announce that we're a few days away from opening Bank of the West Wealth Management office in New York in the BNP Paribas building on 7th Avenue.
So this is a different wealth management business than wealth management at the larger BNP. This is retail wealth management.
This is retail wealth management, but addressing high net worth individuals, and it's been a very attractive proposition for us, and looking forward to continuing to expand. On the regulation side, the platform we have here, well balanced between retail and wholesale, to your previous question, the fact that we're well capitalized, liquid, and have developed an organically grown business model has actually fitted pretty well the regulation today.
Terrific. Jean-Yves, it's good to see you.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. Jean-Yves Fillion joining us there, BNP Paribas.